mean, I'm not going to labour the point, but there's plenty of data out there at the moment that women going into leadership positions, there's several issues. They're under-sponsored during conversations about who should be moving up into the next tier of the hierarchy. There's gaps in mentorship, so that they're not getting the technical skills and the confidence that they need. Also, sponsors are just simply not providing the opportunities for women to move into these leadership opportunities. And the last point around the progress, there are hidden networks that you have to tap into in order to be able to break into these opportunities. So what that really leads to is what I've put over on the right hand side. Lots of women seek mentors to help them fill in these gaps. But there's actually different roles and different people you need to support you. One of the big things I'll tell you about a mentor, they share their experience and their knowledge with you, but they actually have a low level of influence over your opportunities or your career. A coach, on the other hand, they will be actively participating in how to try help you move up that opportunity curve. So they're taking an active involvement in your development, but still both of these roles are not the real difference makers. So what are the ones with high influence? First of all, you need advocates even before you have a sponsor. You need people who are going to be saying positive things around you. I think the point was made that, earlier, there's the opposite. There's detractors. They took an early lunch. You need just as many people saying great things about you. Oh, did you see that fantastic presentation? But the real person that makes a difference is a sponsor. Sponsors are people that can exchange pay rises, promotions, or positions of power with you. And if that's from a very internal perspective in an organisation, I'll change it into what it means if you're a business owner. It would be called the man. Who's got the money, who's got the authority, who's got the need. Pay rises, the same as money. Promotions is the same as having the authority to bring you in. Need is the same as putting you into a position of responsibility of power in work. You always need one or two sponsors in order for you to be able to break into a new opportunity. And once you've grabbed that opportunity, more opportunity comes to you. The converse is true. If you're not able to get that opportunity, less come to you. So sponsors are a big part of this. Mentors will be useful in terms of giving you a roadmap, but sponsors are the ones who actually help put it into implementation. So in order for any progress to be made, you're going to need more sponsors. That's the thing that's going to change your individual progress. So this chart I'm going to show you here, it says understanding the game. I got shown this 10 years ago by my line manager at Accenture. That individual is now partner and CFO of a major consulting firm. Most people have seen maybe a HR 9-box grid. This is very similar, but it's not exactly the same. My mentor explained to me that most people focus on trying to improve their technical skills, talent, and this is where their inability to get the promotion leads them seeking a mentor. The challenge is, most people then end up on this curve where they hit a barrier. So as we can see, the experienced employee, they have the talent to take them as far as a senior manager, head of function type level of business. If you're a business owner, you can just consider this difference being small, medium, large, global corporation. It's the same premise. But it's not always about the technical aspects of what you do. In fact, this part here is very easy. We can write down a criteria of, can you do project management? Can you handle a budget? can you manage a team? It's this part here, the savvy element. There is both a political game and an emotional landscape that you have to navigate. These combine together. This becomes what people call a culture. And before you do anything, you have to understand the culture of the target organization in which you're dealing. If you don't understand that culture, the reality is you as an individual only have so much power. It's great to know who you are, but you have to identify cultures which align with yourself and in which you can get recognized. If you cannot get recognized, it doesn't matter what you do. You then need to have the vision of yourself. Your vision of yourself is the most powerful thing you can have. No one else is going to have a vision for you.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that do make it in these organizations, they almost come in with a sense of entitlement that they think that they are meant to be a director one day or a head of one of these grand titles in the organization, or that they are people who should be starting up a multi-million-pound business. They have a vision of themselves. The real trick is you need to now identify someone, a sponsor on the other side who will recognize you for that. And the two of you have to be in alignment. If I was going to give you a secret formula, you must give whoever you meet the most advanced yet acceptable answer to them of who you are. Everyone has a degree of change that they can extend their imagination. For some people it's 5%, for some people it's 10%. So you need to match what the opposite person imagines you are, but then you need to be 5% better or 5% different. Anything more is actually too much. Now, as I said, some people are more open-minded, so that can range 10%, but if someone has decided that you are this box and you try to completely tell them you're a circle, it just won't work. It's too big a gap for their brain to switch. So part of the trick in understanding the game is also understanding and identifying who are the right people to sponsor me. Mentors play a role in that, for sure, if you've got gaps in the capability or you need a roadmap to understand. But who you are is the thing that actually defines long term what you get to do. If they think who you are is someone who has the potential to one day be at this level, over time they will assume you've gained enough experience, skills, and knowledge to move up, that you've gained the expertise to go to that next step. So you have to get a mentor to tell you what the rule book in that landscape looks like, but then you need a sponsor who can actually make it happen. So I just want to give some tips on identifying mentors and sponsors. So the first thing is, everyone that I meet always thinks you need one mentor. If the goal of the mentor is to build knowledge, confidence and clarity, why not have multiple mentors?
Yeah.
Would you ask Serena Williams to teach you how to paint? So in the same way, there's a couple of mentors that I'm suggesting here. You should have one who understands the landscape you're trying to navigate. I've called this a company mentor, but really it's organization, industry, someone who understands that marketplace that you're attempting to succeed in. You need someone who is basically an older version of you, your skills mentor, someone who's 30 years down the line from you and knows the challenges to go up and down. And the last thing is, you need someone who's going to be your career strategy mentor, someone who can help you challenge you, build insight, help you lay out the roadmap of what you're going to do. I've given the suggestion here how you approach people. I'm going to tell you right now, out of 10 people you'll approach, one person will say yes. So you need to ask a lot of people to be your mentor. And if I'm going to give you a tip, you should have one person who is outside the organisation so you get a very independent view and a different insight. Sponsors, on the other hand, as said, they give you visibility and they give you opportunity. If you can't be seen, you can't be recognised. If they don't have anything to exchange with you, they're not a sponsor. It's a very transactional relationship. You deliver for them, they give opportunities to you. So they need decision-making authority. They need to be someone who already has influence in key rooms. They need to be someone where they can speak up and be an advocate for you. And they have to put, in exchange, their personal capital at risk in doing that. Which is why it's different from the person who just says, you're a great individual. And that's why you need to align your priorities with theirs. Again, I've laid out how you might want to handle that conversation. That you're leading a specific initiative, it contributes to their goal. A lot of the time these conversations in these rooms are about the self-esteem element and what you bring. But the opportunity doesn't sit in this room. That's still the fact. And so you need to find what in your world of opportunities matches with their world of opportunities. Signals that they'll notice. You need to be able to evidence results. You've got to be proactive to bring that initiative and reliability to them. And you need to make yourself seen. Whatever way the person takes in information, that's the way you need to show up. So if they read reports, your name needs to be on the report. If they're going to meetings, you need to be in that meeting. If they go attend conferences, you need to be on stage. Whatever the mode of information that they take in, you need to be on the opposite end, providing that information into them for you to be visible. And lastly, how do you make this practical? Have a think of the people that you deal with at the moment in your personal network. Are they a mentor, or are they someone who has the potential to be a sponsor for you? You need both. And I even pointed out, there might be times you need a coach. There's certainly the fact you'll need advocates if you're going to be seen as a leader. Because if other people aren't willing to say great things about you, you're not a leader to them. You have to be intentional. So this is very, very important in terms of that work with Fastina was just going through. You know, what is your purpose? You have to be intentionally approaching these people, knowing your why, knowing what your ask is of the other individual. And you need to put yourself into a mindset of, how does me being with this other individual add value to them? Because no one wants to just do things for free. Then, the third point. The work you do, it has to be visible. This isn't going off and being loud and showy. This is another mistake that people make. You only need to provide the information in the ways your audience take that information in. Anything in and over and above that self is either wasted effort or effort that's going to get used against you. Again, that's kind of the dust being kicked up against you. They always make it about themselves. You need to align the messaging to the few people that are actually going to make the difference to you. And lastly, when you have that breakthrough moment, you really do need to give it back to other people. Something I know is that opportunity at the top, it's temporary.
Yeah.
You know, if you own the business, eventually that business will go through a downturn. If you're a C-suite, eventually they all get sacked. They don't own the business. Everything is transient. So you've got a responsibility of stewardship. Even your place in society, over time, you will move on. So if you build a network down as well, you ensure that sustainability comes through. Right, I only had 4 slides, so is there any questions?
That was powerful. Powerful.
Yeah. Right, I've had mentors. I must admit, I've never had a sponsor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never had a... Now you see it broken down like that. I've never had a sponsor.
Yeah, if I go back to this.
Yeah. So advocates, yeah, what I do, although there's loads of people that do emotional intelligence, none of them do it like me. And I think sometimes the barrier is because I'm a black woman.
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example. When, you know, after lockdown, when everybody was going into the new normal, my very first was an in-person leadership. I do an EQ leadership formula program.
Okay.
And it was 10 men and 5 women. 8 of the men were white, 2 Asian, all of the women were white, and I was the only person there. And I kid you not, they came there to learn, and they were asking me all these questions. I felt like I was being tested for my knowledge.
Okay. But who was the individual who brought you into that room?
The individual that brought me into the room was a black guy who approached me, who spoke to me about what I did and asked me if I would do a leadership program for them. But then he moved on, so it was past. It could have been a different story had he stayed.
True, but that person was your sponsor.
He was the sponsor that brought me in.
Like, in this scenario where I'm speaking to you, Emeka was my advocate because he knows me from UBS. Fastina is my sponsor. No one had ever put me on stage before Fastina.
Right.
And after I did Divas of Colour, people saw I could actually do public speaking. I got more opportunities to do public speaking off the back of it.
Yeah.
So you have to identify who is willing to be your sponsor, actually bring you in, and what can they exchange with you. If they're willing to say good things about you, they're only an advocate. A sponsor, as I said, they give you a position of power. I have a speech.
Yeah.
Alright? They can give you money or pay rises. They can give you that promotion, or position you as this is the external consultant we need to oversee this initiative. If you don't have those elements there, you don't have a sponsor. And if you're going to go sell to anyone, you need to be identifying these. When you're internal, you're still selling, it's just it's influence. So it's all about mastering influence. Advocates are really, really important because especially, look, I'm British-born Bangladeshi by ethnicity. I recognise the point around everything is under the microscope, every minor thing you do. So a lot of, if you're having this talk in a different setting with like a more mixed group of individuals, they'll be like about bring your best self to work. I never crack a joke at work because it will be misinterpreted. I am always in a suit because any attempt to wear any other piece of clothes is judged. That is why every public image of me you see is in a suit. I have to be always on a professional level.
Because you're always on stage.
So
yes.
It's back to what my dad said when I was coming here. always work twice as hard. Even though now it's twice as smart, but it's because of where you are, because of who you are, you're always having, because you know you'll be judged, you're always having to do more.
This is the calibration I'm gonna give you, because twice as hard takes you down this curve.
Yeah, that's why I said it's now twice as smart.
Yes.
I said, so when I came, it was twice as hard, but now it's not twice as hard, it's twice as smart.
That's right, because you need to
Take
align
that.
with
Savvy.
what are they actually looking for you. You know, there is some element of work,
Yeah,
but it's also, do you match both their culture and the sort of positioning and status element they want? So if this was Aristotle's rhetorical framework, this here is the rational, this is the political emotional, or what they call logos, ethos and pathos. That's really the measurement, and then you, over time, people will give you the opportunity, they will know you, they'll believe you're credible, but you have to position
yourself
as what they want to, and so you're better off finding who wants to recognise me for who I really am.
You've just hit the nail on the head, because you can't always be your authentic self, because your authentic self doesn't represent who they want. And even if you do it, I'm talking about the NHS here. It's everywhere, but
I'm not
you know, it's the
like you guys, but in the environment where I work, what you said is and only yesterday at work, we were just joking amongst ourselves, because the company I work for was set up by a single person who, well, he was given the opportunity to break out of Greenwich Council to set up leisure on its own. 30 years old, this guy is 75 years old, he's still leading, but in a roundabout way as a consultant. He's got other people there that he's put in. They are in their 60s, and the youngest is like 55. So we were discussing in the office to say, okay, guys, I brought it up. I don't know why it came to me, but it's resounding with what you said about being. People are there, they're seen as they can go to the level of directorship. So I brought up 3 names. These guys, we've been hearing about them for ages, but I think they were brought in at low level, but now, everywhere you go, SLG, Senior Leadership Group as they call it, you see them. So I said, who do you think is going to lead this company? Because right now, they're not bringing in other people, but you see these guys everywhere. So you're right, they are, the sponsors are.
And the thing I'm going to explain there, this is the bit people get wrong. They are good enough. Once they pass the threshold, they are good enough in the talent department, but they match
that bit.
Exactly.
Once they pass that threshold.
Well, as Jacqueline said, how do you know who is going to push you forward? Because I'm asking this because we have children who are in that level now. They're doing senior managerial role or positions, but who's going to be their sponsor to push them up?
The first thing you need is the mentor, so that you can accurately judge what this game is in your environment. This is an abstract version of it. Then you need both 1 or 2 sponsors, because again, a sponsor can be eliminated, so you should have a couple of sponsors. And then you need advocates around it who reinforce the message. Because if you're going to be a leader, you also need the organisation behind you. So if other people aren't willing to advocate, you'll never get there.
This is just so.
This is what I charge people.
Thought-provoking for me. And now I'm not even just, like you said, not just thinking about myself, but my daughter, for example, because she's in a field that's not. I'm in HR. There's so much I can do for her, but she's in journal. She's sports journalist. That's what she studied, sports journalism. And I said, and she wants sports presenter. very few women. She's black
Yeah.
and everything. So one of the things I've started doing everything about having a mentor. Eventually she's got one, but I kept on going on about it. Having a mentor is important because that person will be, because there's so much, yes, I'm in HR, there's so much I can do for her, but I'm not in that field. And but thinking about it, she doesn't just need now, having this, she doesn't just need a mentor. She needs a sponsor, she needs an advocate to be able to go, because ultimately she wants to become a sports presenter, and I keep telling her, you can do it. But the thing is, you have to be in the zone, the things you need to know. So this is just an eye opener for me.
And
Yes.
a lot of people who are advocates in the future tend to become sponsors.
Yeah.
You know, people who are emotionally secure are usually in those situations where they can afford to share their capital, and they tend to become a future sponsor anyway.
Yeah.
So you should be identifying yourself who are the potential people in this environment
Yeah.
who are going to be the future.
But they've also
pipeline.
got to recognise there's enough room on the platform for everyone.
Sometimes I'm down there.
I know, that's the
You
thing.
know what I'm getting from this, especially for us as black people, black women, is, sometimes we usually have this block in the mind of there are no opportunities, and we talk ourselves out of opportunities that are there. If you listen to what he said, he talked about advocacy and then sponsorship. Now, as all of us have agreed, everybody stopped at mentorship. Now, he said he identified me as a sponsor. I didn't know I was his sponsor. Do you understand?
Yeah. I got that.
Things into perspective,
Now,
innit?
oftentimes, I approached you, isn't it?
Yeah.
To come and speak. There are so many people you will approach to come and speak. They look at you. Your organization is not HSBC or whatever. What kind of platform is that? Do you understand? So people don't understand that sponsorship doesn't necessarily mean a huge platform.
No.
It's a place for you to show what you can do.
It's an
And then you get
opportunity.
That's the opportunity. So most people don't grasp opportunity because they have a mindset of what opportunity should be.
It's their perception, isn't it? Yeah.
Now he said, I'm his
You were sponsor. He was
he is now a sponsor for Divas of Color.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now he advocates and sponsors Divas of Color by bringing the quality we are looking for. Do you understand? And making it possible for our brand to stay on brand of the quality we want. We don't just want speakers, we want people who will bring quality so that when somebody sees, they say, this is what Divas of Color is all about. So he is also the sponsor of Divas of Color. So sponsorship is not only about finding a job. Promotion.
As I said, in an internal environment, it's just pay rises, promotions, positions, power. Externally, who's got money, authority, or need.
Before COVID, there was a lady. She was one of the founders of World Remit. Somebody told me about her, and then told her about me, and asked me to go to an event she was in. I went and bought one of my best clothes and dressed very well, very smart, and I came and I went and greeted her. I met her. She said, Faustina, you're the founder of Divas. We need to talk. She didn't know I came there to ask her to sponsor Divas of Color.
Right.
So I came because the person asked me to come. She was going to be there. So when I came, I just greeted her and she said, are you Faustina? I said, yes, from Divas. I said, we need to talk. So I got my check. The next week she asked me about Divas of Color. I started saying that there and then she signed a 5 years sponsorship contract with us.
Oh, wow.
Until after COVID. So they sponsored us that time. There was a time we did the event in Care Oval, 2 days. Care Oval is £10,000. The venue. So 2017, 2018, 2016, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. World Remit sponsored us. And unfortunately, she had cancer
and left us, and I didn't have anybody bothering me again.
No.
So but I think 2022, after COVID, and I kept, communicating, trying to communicate them, but all the team around her, they've all left. So I'm trying to establish another relationship there, I can't find somebody. But I finally got one person, but he didn't really have any power. And then we were able to exhibit that year, and then he left the place. So you see how what you're saying sometimes is transient.
Sponsorship is transactional. And it can be, it can be,
Yeah. So always redistribute the opportunity as well.
Yeah.
No,
Thank you.
thank you.